November 1st. I am on my way to WinStar Casino, Vacaville, Oklahoma, to play a little cash game session. Not sure if I'm playing 2-5 or 5-10 today. More than likely 2-5. The Friday regulars at 5-10 are pretty tough. Lots of 2-5 games to choose from, though. So I'm gonna go there, hopefully do really well, and we'll see how I do.
Alright. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, 1, 2, 1, and 5.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm just leaving WinStar. Did not play very long at all. Only played from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. No, 3:30. So only a 2.5-hour session. Ended up winning $725. Geez, I was up $11.65 at one point and then gave some back. So an interesting hand early on in the session. I had 440, started with 500. Under the gun raises to 20. I have pocket aces, yay-hoo, and I raise it to 65. The button calls the 65, and the original raiser calls the 65. Flop comes 9 of spades, 8 of spades, 4 of diamonds. I bet, let's see, I have 440 and 65, so I have 365 left. So I bet 115. The button folds. The original raiser kind of goes in the tank and eventually makes the call. The next card is the 9 of clubs. I shove for 240. Again, he goes into the tank, which now I know I'm ahead because he would snap call with a 9, and he eventually makes the call. The river is the 10 of diamonds, and I turn over my aces. He sighs, says good hand, and mucks his cards. So I doubled up on that one. Nice pot. Frank Buck Zoo. I have not been here in 15 years. Not since my last kiddo was about 5 years old. But we always enjoyed this place. Okay, I'm at the Frank Buck Zoo. I haven't been here in many years. Not since Billy was about 5 years old, so that's 15 years. Anyhow, I decided I would stop here. I did something very good that I rarely do in my sessions that I'm supposed to do, which is I stopped when my gut told me to stop, and a lot of times I don't do that. So I was up $1,165 at one point. I started losing, lost 6-7 hands in a row, walked around for a minute, still didn't make any better, so I got up and left. And I ended up leaving up ahead $725, so at least I did that right. So an interesting hand that I played was under the gun raises to 20. He's a kind of a weak player. I thought that he would fold to a raise. So I had ace 10 of spades in middle position. I raised to 60. There's an Oriental guy on the button. He has 460. He makes the call. He's kind of a splashy loose player, and the original raiser makes the call also. The flop comes pretty darn good. 8 of spades, 9 of clubs, jack of spades. I have an open-ended straight draw and the nut flush draw, so that's pretty good. The original razor checks. I bet 140. And the Oriental guy jams for 400. Original razor folds. I'm not going anywhere. Not with that draw. So I make the call. The turn is the 6 of diamonds. The river is the king of diamonds. No bueno. So I roll over my ace 10 of spades, show him what a monster draw I had. He's about to turn over his cards, and he mucks. He said later on he had 7-8 of spades. So I pulled in a pretty nice pot. Okay, another interesting hand against the same Oriental guy was he raised pre-flop to 20. I'm in the big blind. I'm the only caller. I have pocket deuces, so I call. Flop comes Jack 9-4 rainbow. I check. He bets 35, and I make the call. The next card is another 9. He bets 65. I didn't believe him at all, so I made the call. The river is another 4, so now it's Jack 9-9-4-4 on the board, and I made a mistake. I checked. I'm counterfeited. He checks behind with an ace 6, and he takes down the pot. Wow, why did I check? I knew we didn't have a pair, but sometimes we make mistakes. So I did something in the game today that I don't do very often, which was we have a Facebook group for my league and the guys I talk with poker with all the time. We have about 60 of us, and I was updating the Facebook page with how I was doing today. So I had a picture of my starting stack. I got up to about 1,100, started with 500, got up to about 1,100, posted a picture, said, hey, I'm doing good. And then I got up to 1,665, so I'm up 1,165. It was my high for the day, and posted the picture. And one of the guys comments and says, hey, you're becoming little Manny. Well, Manny's a guy in our league who posts pictures constantly. He's always telling us when he's up or whatever. So I said, I'm not doing that anymore. It was funny because once I got to that level, I don't think I won another hand after I posted that other picture. So I posted the picture and I ended up going away with $725, or sorry, up $725. I cashed out for $1,225. So I did one of two things. That was, if you're superstitious, I either posted pictures, which I shouldn't have done when I'm up, or I had $1,665 in red. Somebody needed to get some chips, and they gave me $300 in cash, and so I put another $200 with it, and I got black chips. So a lot of people think that coloring up can be bad luck. So one of the two things happened. So I think it's the picture. I don't think it's the coloring up. So anyhow, kind of interesting though. Okay, the last interesting hand I played was there was a limper for $5. Comes all the way around. Everybody folds around to the small blind, who bet 25. I have ace king. I make the call, and the original limper folds. The small blind is a player he's almost one of those guys who feels entitled that he should win when he raises pre-flop. It's kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Anyhow, okay, so the flop comes 10 of hearts, 9 of hearts, 4 of clubs. He leads out for 25. I think I have the best hand here. He could have a pair. He could have ace king, but I think I'm good a lot of times here. So I make the call. Next card is the 4 of hearts. He checks. I now know for sure that I'm at least tied with him. That he has ace king, ace queen, ace jack, king queen, king jack, something like that. He checks. I bet 65, and he calls. I also have the king of hearts, so I got a pretty good heart draw if he happens to get there. The last card was the ace of clubs. He checked. I bet 115. Wanted to get some value, and he snap called me, and he proudly rolled over ace queen. So So I rolled over my ace king, and he went on his normal tirade about how he's very unlucky and all this kind of stuff, while I rigged in a pretty nice pot. So that was a pretty nice result for me today. It wasn't as good as I had hoped it would be when I was up 1165, but still leaving up 725 is not so bad. And again, I left when my gut told me to. That's been one of my leaks before, that I don't leave when I know that I should. So I was happy that I did, left when I did. I have quite a few vacation days over Christmas this year. So I think I have Thursday and Friday off 3 weeks in a row, and then I have the week between Christmas and New Year's. So I'll get to play a lot. So I'm hoping that I can definitely increase the bankroll by a bunch. And I'll let you guys know how I do.